Hello everyone, my name is Malsukiso Makaleni. I'm happy to be back again. Today I'm going to make a summary of what we've discussed so far about the 10% issue and also the governing system, the linear governing system, also mention or what you call institutions, a school of ideas, and the distribution of power. Before we said that in South Africa we need to make sure that each and every newborn child, immediately the child is born, they open a bank account. In that bank account, there will be rules and procedures that will need to be followed in doing everything. So each and every month, there will be a 10% of the parents' income that will be deducted and transferred to the bank account of their child from the very first month the child is born. That will be taking place. That will help people in South Africa in so many ways, because now they will have money which is there, a lot of money that will contribute to economy, also that will contribute to people to live the life of liability, because now like people, they will not need to pay for or go for loans when they want to go in higher institutions. They will have money that their parents have stored for them. So from there they can pay their tuition fees, they can pay everything for themselves, and even if they want to open a business, they can open a business and do something, which is great. So that will help us so much, the rule of 10%. Then it will help us to make a lot, because now there is a lot of people who are living the life of liability. While they are studying, they use a loan, and in the future when they start to work, they need to settle for the loan. Remember, the time is not constant, it's moving, and by that time the person is working, he will need to take care of his family, try by all means to develop his own empire or her empire by maybe deciding to get married, buying cars. All these things, they need money, and also he's still settling for his old debts he was using in financial aid while he was studying. Just imagine the life of liability. So the income that he earns at the end of the day doesn't make any difference. It's just an income. So that 10% rule will help us to ensure that each and every student, when they go in a higher institution, they have sufficient money to pay for higher institution, not to take loan, so that when they work, they can be free, they can be able to start their own companies. Just imagine now you use financial aid and you want to start a company and you want money and you have to apply for a loan, and as you have to apply for a loan, but when they see the debt that you have aside is reflecting under your name, what does it say? You still have this much to settle for. How can you settle for another debt? So they decide, no, we are not going to give you a loan, so it means you lose, you are not going to open your company. So the 10% rule will save us in so many ways. And also we have an issue of a linear governing system. Let me combined linear governing system with all with what? Okay, we've also talked about what we've mentioned before. We've mentioned the issue of segregation, which is not segregation but decentralization of power. And from there, we mentioned we need to move away from the linear governing system. The linear governing system is the system that says we are going this side. We are going straight. We don't move, we don't do anything, but we're going straight with the lane that is here. And there is an opposite of linear governing system, which is the secular governing system. The secular governing system, as exactly, is saying that we consider this part before we move to another part. So from there, the linear governing system is encouraging the country not to grow in a faster rate, but while it's growing at a slow rate, which make this country to suffer in so many dimensions. Why? Because the population is growing. As the population is growing, the number of people is increasing. At the same time, the development which we are having is slowly. When the development is slowly, and the value of that makes the value of our currency to be less as to compare to other countries. So in a secular governing system, it's where we say we empower. What do we empower exactly? We empower people of regions to develop different industries. For instance, in Durban or in KZN, we have different regions. Those regions will open different, like each and every region open different industries. People who are working in those industries are people who are settling within that region. So while we are doing that, we are creating a region or industries which are belonging under the name of region, because we want to eliminate the issue of people moving from rural areas to urban areas. So now we are creating job opportunities where people are. When now we are creating that, we are making also, we are improving the infrastructure of that place. We are improving the standard of that place, because now it will become more advanced, more it will become more advanced. People from that area will have access to a lot of things, and there will be no Jacob Zuma as our the president, who will have to recommend or to say what he wants to say about the money. But the region, because it will generate income from those industries and utilize, it will have a say, because the region knows exactly where they struggling, where they are struggling, and what makes them to struggle, and where to improve at how much they need. Yes. And we go to the issue again to touch up the issue of institutions we have currently. We have institutions currently which are encouraging a slow growth in development. How so? The institution that we have doesn't encourage people to collect information for the develop, like for instance, to collect information to create a model for the country, because we need a model. How are we going to go about when we are developing the country? We need to know before we can say we're going to have, or we have a proper administration. We have to make sure that we know everything which is going on in our country. Who who is where at what time. So the moment we know, we have information, we will be able to do things. We'll be able to see, okay, when we are facing this issue or when this is happening, this is what we need to do. For instance, the School of Ideas, the students, they collect information about the industries we have, how much they make and how much, because people, they rob tax. We have SARS today, but although we have SARS, there are people who don't pay tax. You see, because this is over the hands of those companies, and we need to make changes. We don't have to run away. I please you, I beg you, the name of the power of God. We have to unite as Africans and make changes and make this country to look great. Don't think that when people, they elect or appoint you to lead them, don't think that you are powerful, but they've seen or noticed certain characteristics from you. Don't allow the pride, because pride lead to division in black people and Africans as a whole, and also in people who are settling in within a community. Be together and unite. This is it. We will continue in the next video. Thank you.